They're not able to hear your voice.
Can you hear me?
Yes, dear sir. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Yes, yesterday class list implementations classes content, right? Yesterday just we completed.
Yes, sir.
Our list classes we done with array list, linked list, vector, and stack. And I think we done the interview questions also for that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total 21 questions are done today, yesterday. And today class also will do some. Okay. Today class, what thing is like, you go for the cursors. To read the data from the collection classes, we are using cursors. So let me take the examples about the cursors. Yeah. Because we can read the data from the collection classes in 4 ways, basically. We can read the data from collection classes in how many ways here? 4 ways. What are the 4 ways? Using for each method, for each loop. Yesterday class we done the for each loop, right? That's just for reading purpose. We can read the data from the collection classes in how many ways? 4 ways. So for each method and get method, for each loop, for each loop, get method and cursors, enumeration iterator and list iterator, and for each method is there. For each method, right? Exactly. Yesterday class we done the We are reading the data using for each loop, right? Yesterday class. Yes or no? Yesterday class we are reading the data using what? For each loop, right? Yes, yesterday class I think which is uploaded in the YouTube. Okay, try to check that videos. Using for each loop, using get method, using cursors, guys. Now let me go with the cursors concept today. Enumeration cursor, iterator cursor, list iterator cursor, right? Yes, enumeration, iterator, and what? List iterator, right? Exactly. Because first one is enumeration cursor. Because in using these cursors, we can read the data from the collection classes. Coming to the enumeration, guys. Enumeration cursor is introduced in 1.0 version. Okay, enumeration is introduced in 1.0 version. So it is a legacy cursor. So we can read the data from only. Yes, we can read the data from what? Only. That's clear. Using this we can read the data from only legacy classes, which is like Java 1.0 version. So it is not a universal cursor, guys. Because using enumeration cursor, we can read the data from only legacy classes, right? And to get the enumeration object, yes, to get the we can get you will get the enumeration object using what? Elements method, right? Yeah. Elements method, guys. Elements method returns which object? Enumeration object. And enumeration contains like methods, two methods. What are two methods? Has more elements and what? Next element, right? There's has more elements and what? Has more elements and what? Next element, right? Exactly. Because has more elements to check the data is available or not available. Once the data is available, then we need to read the data, right? Yeah, to read the data, next element method we have. Good. And using this cursor, we can do only read operations, guys, because has more elements and next element. Has more elements and next elements, it can read the data, it can only perform read operations, right? Yes or no? So using this cursor, we can do only read operations. Using this cursor, we can do only forward direction, right? Because has next and next method then performs like only read operations, right? This can hear me. So this is a enumeration cursor, guys. Enumeration is only for legacy classes. Enumeration is only for legacy classes. You will get the enumeration object using elements method. So to check the methods, use Java P command. Like enumeration contains two methods, guys. Has more element and what? Next element, right? Using this cursor, we can do only read operations. Using this cursor, we can do only forward direction, right? Yeah, the problem with the enumeration is what? It's only like read operation. We can do only read operations and we can read only forward direction cursor, right? Yes or no? Using this cursor, we can do only what? Read operations. Using this cursor, we can do only forward direction, right? Exactly.
Legacy classes mean
And the classes which are there from 1.0 version, those classes are called legacy classes.
like vector and stack.
A current stack. So this
Okay.
is enumeration also legacy cursor.
Okay.
Using this cursor, we can read the data from one legacy classes. See, written right Java 1.0 version classes. So it is not a universal cursor, right? There's the problem with enumeration is what? The problem with enumeration is we can read. Madhuswami, I'm unable to hear your voice. Can share this document. Hemachandra actually already shared this document. Maybe you are not attended up to end of the session. Can you get the previous of recording the previous classes? How can I get the complete CoreJava, Shobit? You are talking. Stack is a child of vector. Yes, stack is a child of vector. Must some just reconnect once if I'm not able to hear what I have to do. Yeah. The second one is iterator cursor, guys. Iterator cursor means what? Using this cursor, we can do data from what? All collection classes. Yeah. Guys, using this cursor, we can read the data from all collection classes. All collection classes means what? It is universal cursor, right? Guys, all collection classes means what? It is universal cursor or not? Exactly. So we will get the object using iterator method. Enumeration object you will get using elements method. Iterator object you will get using iterator method. And iterator object contains 4 methods, guys. What are the 4 methods here? Has next method to check the data is present or not present, right? You see, cursors are reading purpose means what? Before reading, we need to check first of all data existed or not existed, right? Has next method to check the data is available or not available. Next method to read the data. Remove method to remove the data. There's remove method to remove the data. For each remaining to read the data using lambda expressions. Okay, fine. For each remaining also to read the data only. I will tell you. Okay, what is this for each remaining? Total iterator contains total how many methods, guys? Total 4 methods, right? Has next, remove, for each remaining, right? Exactly. Because using this cursor, we can do read and remove operations. Enumeration cursor, we can do only which operations? Yes, enumeration cursor, we can do only which
Only
operations?
read. Only read.
Only read operation, right? But here we can do read and remove operation also, right? Exactly. But using this cursor, the problem is what? Only remove operations we can do. We cannot do the updation operations, right? And even this cursor only for the and even this cursor we can read the data only forward direction, right? We can't read the data backward and backward directions, right? Exactly. Because we can't read the data like backward directions, right? Exactly. Because to check the methods, use the java p command. So these are the methods, right? These are the iterator object, guys. That's why we're going for list iterator. Because use this list iterator only for list classes. What are list implementation classes? Guys, list iterator only for the list classes. What are the list implementation classes?
Array list, linked list, set queue.
Very good. Guess what are the list implementation classes? List implementation classes are what? Array list, linked list, vector and stack.
Stack.
That's it. Queue, set. What are you saying here? Very bad thing. Just using this cursor, we can read the data from only list implementation classes. So it is not a universal cursor, right? So it is not a universal, guys. And we will get this object using list iterator method. Guys, we will get this object using list iterator method. And list iterator contains almost all 9 methods. List iterator contains how many methods, guys? Total here 9 methods. Has next method, next method. So to check the data is present or not present, has next and what? Next method. Because has next to check the data is present or not present. Next method. Next method to read the data, right? Exactly. Has previous method check the data like backward direction. Previous method to check the data like previous, right? Next index and what? Previous index. Next index and what? Previous index, right? So remove to remove the data. Set to replace the data. Add the data. It means using this cursor, even you can read the data, we can remove the data, we can replace the data, we can add it also, right? I think we can do more operations over list iterator, right? Exactly. Because using this cursor, we can do read, remove, update, and what? Because using this cursor, we can do what? Read, remove, update, add operations, right? Using this cursor, we can do only we can read data forward and backward directions, right? Yes, using this we can read the data from forward direction and what? Backward direction, right? Guys, forward and what? Backward direction, right? Exactly. There is a point, guys. Guys, array list is there, which contains iterator and list iterator. Array list, how many cursors are applicable? Guys, array list you can apply only iterator cursor and list iterator cursor, right? Guys, to the array list, how many cursors are applicable? What are the two? Iterator and list iterator. What about vector?
Sir, one. Sir, one only.
Vector, how many cursors?
Enumeration.
Enumerator, iterator, list iterator, 3.
All 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Enumeration is applicable. Iterator is applicable. List iterator is also applicable, right? Enumeration, iterator, and what? Enumeration, iterator, and list iterator also applicable, right? Exactly. Has set means how many cursors?
Only one.
Has set means only enumeration is not applicable. Only
Mhm.
universal cursor, right? Universal cursor is iterator, right?
ListIterator is for only list.
Yeah, ListIterator is only for list classes, no? So it cannot be.
Yes.
Hmm,
Yes.
Good. Good. Guys, can you please write some examples about this? Okay. I think yesterday class we know how to write the for each loop code, right? Because yesterday class we know that for each loop. No? Today let me create one new. I click close. I click close all. Yeah, let me create the new package for these examples. So here a src folder. In src folder, right click it. src folder, right click source folder, guys, new. I want to create the package. The package name is what? com.tcs data. What the topic here? Cursors, right? Exactly. Because in this cursors package, let me create the example for today. So new, I want to create the class. So here, okay, test one example. Just click on the main method, click on the finish. The last class were attended the class, so they know this code. Don't ask again explanation. I have the array list data, array list of string, which I'm adding how many elements here? Guess which I'm adding how many elements? Total 4 elements, right? Guys, first way to read the data using for each loop. I think everyone knows this for each loop, right? Right hand side is OBJS I'm printing. Left hand side OBJS contains what type of data?
String type.
Guys, OBJS contains what type of data? String type. OBJS contains string type means I'm making here string type, right? Exactly. And the second approach is what, guys? Using get method. So get of second element. Get of second element means what? String name, right? Get of second element is string name is there, right? Exactly. Because get of second element is string name is there, na? That's the pointer. Now, on this array list, how many cursors are applicable? Total 2 cursors, right? Okay, let me apply the iterator cursor in this example. Let me apply the iterator cursor, guys. To get the iterator object, OBJS, that which method we need to use? Iterator method we need to use. That iterator method returns which object, guys? Wait, tell me. Iterator method returns which object means iterator object. Okay, iterator object, right? Exactly. Iterator ITR is there, na? Iterator ITR is there. Iterator ITR is there. To check the data is present or not present, while ITR data. Guys, how can we check data is present or not present?
As more elements.
See guys, as next is there, na? As next is there. See guys, returns true if the iteration has more elements. In other words, returns true if the next method returns the element rather than throwing an exception, right? Yeah. Guys, as next method returns true if the iteration has more elements, right? Checking the data is present or not present, right? Guys, yes or no? That's what has next method. Because why I'm using while loop means you need to check, you need to read one value, multiple values. We need to read multiple values, right? ITR dot which method now? Next method. Because next method, using this iterator, we can read like any type of data or only specific data. Guys, using this iterator, we can read any type of data or only specific data.
Any type of
data. But array list contains only string data. Okay, fine. Array list contains only string data, that I agree. But using this iterator, we can read only string data or any type of data. Any type of data. That's what, guys, here we need to typecast which class now? String class. Because now my iterator is reading which data? String data, right?
Only string data.
That's what string something like yes. Then you can print the data, guys. This is our control space, yes. Guys, this is iterator with the normal version. Okay. Iterator normal version and iterator generic version. If we take the iterator generic version, this is iterator. We need to specify iterator generic version. We need to specify that here we need to pass the string. Now tell me here, this is like G iterator, generic iterator. So in that case, G iterator dot has next and the G iterator dot next. Okay, this next method returns any type of data. This iterator can read only string data.
Only string data.
This iterator returns only string data means typecasting required or not required?
Not required.
That is the advantage of generics, right? Generics always to overcome the typecasting issues here. Normal version means any type of data we can read it, but you need to type convert what type you need, right? Normal version we can do any data. Any data means which type you want, you need to typecast, right? That is your responsibility. But generic version is specific data, right? Guys, generic version means what? Specific data. Specific data means what? Specific data only, right? Exactly. Then typecasting required, not required.
Not required.
Not required, right? Exactly. Yes, you got the clarity, right? These are different ways to read the data. Because unfortunately, underpaid classes, they'll write only for each loop. Some of the guys, they write the cursors. But in the real time, we are not using cursors here. In the real time, we are using like lambda expressions. What is the syntax? See guys, here I'm getting iterator object. Okay, this iterator contains how many methods I said? Which contains 4 methods. So this iterator itself, for each remaining is there, no? For each remaining. Iterator without using while loop, guys. Without using while loop also, we can read the data. Observe carefully, guys. I'm writing the G iterator. Otherwise, let me create the one more thing here. So iterator, iterator.
Lambda version.
Iterator lambda version, basically. Exactly. Yes, first you need to get iterator object. Objs dot objs dot what? Iterator method. It returns which object here? It returns like iterator object, right? Iterator of which version is here? String, right? Yeah. This is like lambda. Okay. What you can say? ITR1, something like this, right? Fine. Guys, ITR1 dot, observe carefully, ITR1 for each remaining I can use. Guys, I think ITR1 dot for each remaining, maybe, yeah, see, this is the data, guys. Implementations are there, right? Guys, that is a
Sir, in interview, they also asked one question: what is a producer consumer problem and why is producer consumer a problem in Java?
Ask the Google ones.
Okay, sir.
These are consumer stupid people all ask that kind of questions basically. American kids can ask that question. Producer consumer problem. So where it is all there. Guys, ITR1 is there. ITR1 is there for each remaining. Yes, for each remaining, expecting which object, just you can place the cursor, guys. Once if you place the cursor, control, right? Actually, control space for each remaining. Yeah, for each remaining is there. See, guys, perform the given action on each element of each remaining element until all elements has been processed, right? Until all elements has been processed, right? Implementation requirement, guys, the default implementation behaves like this. It means default implementation behaves like this means what? They are writing internal like internal while loop, right? Exactly, guys. This is from which version since 1.8 version, right? Exactly. You see this code here. For each remaining, we are expecting the argument. What is the argument, guys? Here,
Consumer.
expecting
Consumer
the
object.
expecting which object, guys? Here, consumer object, right? Exactly. Okay, this is like consumer object. Now let me check what is this consumer. Okay, to understand that point, guys, let me write the lambda expressions. Please take care, everyone. Take care about this lambda expressions. How we will write the lambda expressions? 8 o'clock students, evening 8 o'clock student, morning 9 o'clock students. So check the how I written Lambda expressions here. You know functional interfaces, right? The functional interface. The interface contains only one method that is called functional interface. Guys, iterator method you can see. This is iterator method. An iterator over collection, right? Iterator takes place the enumeration in the Java framework from for each remaining that just 4 methods, guys. Method details has next remove for each remaining. I want for each remaining. Just let me click on consumer. If you click on consumer, guys, consumer is what type of interface you can see. Guys, consumer is what type of interface? It's a functional interface. Observe carefully, guys. It's a functional interface. If it's a functional interface means the functional interface contains only one method. This is a functional interface whose functional method. Guys, functional programming means what? The argument is expecting the function value, right? Yeah. This is a functional interface whose function method is what? Functional method. Guys, functional interface contains only one functional method, one abstract method. Okay, so that is called accept method, guys. Just here you can see, guys, abstract method. One method is there, accept method, right? Exactly. So the point is what? For each remaining expecting the argument is consumer. Consumer is a functional interface. Where it is a functional interface expecting how many arguments? Guys, where it is a functional interface expecting how many arguments?
Only one abstract method.
No, yeah, functional interface contains only one method, right? Yeah, that method implementations directly we can write here itself. Guys, that method implementations directly we can write right here itself, right? Guys, that method implementations directly we can write here itself, right? That's the point. Yeah, that is called lambda expressions. Lambda expressions is providing the implementation of functional interfaces. Okay, yes, you're expecting which object? Consumer object. Consumer is a functional interface. Functional interface contains only one method, accept method. This is method implementation we are writing here. Arrow is the syntax of lambda, guys. Arrow is the syntax of lambda. Before arrow, how many argument expecting? Tell me. One argument expecting, right? So that argument we need to specify. So here that argument is a type. That argument is what here? T. T represents what? A type basically. That is a type. So here what type of data is there? Yes, here I'm taking what type of data. Here I'm reading like, guys, here I'm reading what type of data means what? String data.
String data.
String data.
String S is there, na? String S is there. Right hand side, I want just logic part. The system dot out dot printed, just I'm printing yes. That's all, guys. That's all. We done the code. String S is there, na? Good. Because you need to make these arguments in the parentheses. And moreover, yeah, we need to make these arguments in the parentheses. Okay, fine. Arguments means parentheses required, right? Because lambda syntax is very simple. Simply for each remaining expecting what is the argument? Tell me for each remaining
One argument or
what is the
Consumer argument.
Consumer
argument.
Consumer is an argument interface, functional interface.
Functional interface.
Functional interface contains how many abstract methods?
Only one abstract method which is called accept.
One abstract method, or you can say functional method, which contains only one functional method that is called accept method. That
and it contains only one argument only.
That contains that implementations directly we can write here itself, right? Using lambda expression. Because while taking the lambda expression, this type of the argument is also optional. Because if you want, simply can run this code, see the output once. So iterator lambda, we got the output or not. See guys, this is iterator lambda version. We got the Ratan, Naresh and Strava, right? 4 values you got, right? Yes or no? And even while specifying the arguments type is optional, guys. That's what I remove the type. Just I'm making yes. That is a string type, right? That is a string type. See guys, the code is working fine. Iterator lambda version, right? Yes, we got the output or not? Exactly. That is called iterator lambda version, guys. Guys, this for each remaining is method is belongs to which one? It belongs to iterator object, right? Exactly. And we have one more method, guys, for each method. Which method here? For each method. Coming to the for each method, yeah, for each method. This is like, For each method, guys. For each method using lambda. Yeah. Guys, see, basically OBJs, guys. OBJs nothing but what list data, right? List itself is contains a for each method. Guys, previously iterator object you are getting, iterator object contains for each remaining to apply the lambda expression. But now list itself, guys, OBJs is nothing but array list, right? Array list is nothing but list, right? Yeah. OBJs itself, list itself contains the for each method. For each method expecting the argument. Guys, see the for each method here. For each method expecting which object?
Consumer.
For each expecting the consumer object. Consumer is as usual arbitrary function interface.
Function
Interface, right? Where it is a functional interface means I can write the lambda expressions or not.
Yes.
So the same, can I copy this code again? So before arrow arguments, how many arguments? Accept method contains only one argument. After arrow, just you can write the logic. I'm printing just that value, right? Yes, yes, or no?
Yes, sir. Now clear. It was very difficult for me earlier. All this. You made it very easy.
Previously, for each remaining is belongs to iterator. That is also expecting consumer object. Now for each method belongs to what? Array list, like in list data. Here also you can apply the lambda expression. For each remaining and for each method, right? Yeah, for each remaining and what? For each method, right? Exactly. Okay, this is lambda expressions. Lambda expression is very short form, right? Without using while loops and all. For each using lambda. Guys, for each is clear or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Guys, lambda expression is a short form, right? Exactly. Short form of lambda expression. Lambda expression also we can reduce the code using method referencer. For each method using what? For each method using method reference concept. Method reference. Okay. Method reference means what? Even you don't need to take this variable also. Remove this variable. Remove this variable. Okay. So system dot out colon we can call the println method. The println method automatically decides guys, println method automatically decides what that variable name also. Guys, this is a syntax of what? Method reference. Guys, it is nothing but for each is expecting the consumer object only. We are writing the implementation of consumer only. We are writing the implementation of consumer using lambda expressions. To reduce the lambda expression code, we are using which concept, guys, here? Method reference. Guys, to reduce the lambda expressions code, we are using which concept here? Method reference, right? Exactly. Is it clear now? If you only can run this code, we got the method reference output also. See, guys, method reference output, right? Ratan narration Slavia. Yeah. See this complete output. The first case for each loop. Second case get method. Third case iterator normal version. This is the iterator generic version. Then iterator lambda expression. For each with the lambda. For each with the method reference. You may ask one question here. So iterator lambda expression I'm using right here. Here you can apply the method reference also. Where it is lambda is there. This is a lambda, right? Here you can apply the method reference. Yeah, ITR1, ITR2, just you can make the ITR2. Now for each remaining also, what I can do is simply I can pass this data, right? System dot out colon. So println, right? That's it. So iterator lambda na method reference. Method okay reference, right? Exactly. I simply can run this code. See guys, lambda it method reference also will get the output. Yeah, iterator method reference version. Guys, iterator method reference version, right? Method reference version. So clear now. This is the code here. So one is the for each loop get method, iterator normal version, iterator generic version, iterator with lambda expression, iterator with method reference, for each method with lambda and method reference, right? Is it clear?
Sir, method reference is applied to only print statements, or it can
Only
be
in
applied
case
to
of
any
lambda
method?
expressions, you can apply the method reference. Not only print statement, even while performing the sorting operations, also mapping operations, also filtering operations, also we can do. We are calling that methods, the corresponding methods. Is it clear now?
Yes, dear sir.
This is the code for that.
Sir, if the lambda expression has multiple statements, in that case also the
Lambda
method
expressions will work only in case of functional interfaces. Then functional interfaces contains only one method. It's not like multiple methods concept. Okay. There is a standards. Java student, you must know that standards.
Sir, can you explain the concept of generic question mark super E extend?
That is the generics next week.
Next week. Okay, okay. Sure, sir. Sure. Because the interview most asked question.
Default void for it. Repair students never understand this kind of coding here. This is
Correct, sir. Correct. Even I never understood all this.
We need more patience to understand this kind of coding, guys.
Okay, sir.
The default void for each remaining is there. Consumer, it's fine. Consumer object method reference is a short form of lambda expression, right? So in method reference, variable name directly variable name decides internally. Because we are talking about the for each method. For each method expecting which object is consumer. Consumer is a functional interface. T means what type. Consumer is a functional interface present in java.util.function package here. Java.util.function package. Consumer is a functional interface contains only one abstract method is accept, right? Is accept T. Okay, if the method is expecting the function interface, yeah. For each remaining, yeah, for each method and for each remaining, both methods are expecting the consumer object, right? Method reference is a short form of lambda expression. It is decide, okay, fine. If a method is expecting function interface, so function interface contains only one method, only one method, then write that implementation using lambda expression, right? Guys, write that implementation using what? Lambda expressions or not? And this is the for each method, for each remaining. Guys, for each belongs to list. For each remaining is belongs to iterator. It's a consumer, like both are expecting which object, guys? Both are expecting like consumer object. If both are expecting the consumer object means consumer contains only one method. This is like type T. T equal to what? Type. T means type. I need to write that point. We need to understand T means type. That's it. Consumer is a functional interface present in package like java.util package function package. Okay. If the method is expecting the functional interface, where you can write the lambda expressions. Method reference is a short form of what? Tell me here. Method reference is what? Short form of.
Method reference, sir, is a short form of lambda expression.
Method reference is a short form of what? Lambda expression, right? Method reference internally decides in method reference the variable name decide internally. Lambda expression we are giving the method variable name, right? But in lambda expressions we are giving method variable name, right? But in method reference we only take the variable name, it decides internally. There is a point there. Is it clear now? Good. Okay, this is a big example. Okay, fine. Yes, next one, like you try to complete this assignment here. What is this assignment here? Book ID, name, author is there. Book ID, name, and author is there. Array list to insert the 4 book objects. Yes, yesterday class, how I inserted like employee class, student class. The same way, book object you need to take separately. Book ID, name, and author. Array list contains 4 book objects. Read the data using for each loop. Yes, read the data using what? For each loop. Read the data using get method. Read the data using ListIterator generic version. This here I'm saying like ListIterator object I want. For each method, get method, ListIterator generic version. For each method with lambda. Guys, ListIterator is a child of list only. ListIterator is a child of list means what? And you can use the for each remaining also, right? Read the data using what? for each remaining, right? Exactly. Where it expecting which object gets here? Okay, consumer, consumer object, right? Consumer, something like this. Yes, you got the clarity. So ListIterator, maybe you're thinking like doesn't contains like for each remaining, but ListIterator is a child of iterator only. ListIterator is a child of iterator means we can apply the we can apply what? Lambda expression, right? Exactly. This is your assignment. You need to complete this assignment. Let me take this assignment off. Okay. Because I will share only assignments. I will not share the answers for you. We need to complete the answers, right? Okay. This is assignment 1. That's fine. Next one. Yeah, that is example here. There are 2 ways conversion that I'll tell you later. Example. Let me finish the cursors first. Yeah. Good. This also we can take off. Okay, so after that, iterator to remove the data. Yeah, can you hear me? Next one is like an iterator to remove the data. Remove the data here. Yeah, iterator to remove the data here you can take. Yeah, iterator. This is example 2. As example 1, just we are making this all the elements. Example 1, you are doing like big example here. Here the cursors information, read the data, right? Exactly. This is like we can read the data from collection classes 4 ways. From here onwards today class, enumeration cursor, iterator cursor, list iterator cursor. Out of these 3 guys, what is the universal cursor? Because out of these 3, what are the universal cursor? Universal cursor is iterator, right? Exactly. Iterator we can do. Yeah, this is like iterator cursor, guys. Okay, see, this is example you're able to understand, right? Hello, can you please explain this code? What we are doing here?
Yes, sir.
Just we are making array list.
Yes.
Just we are adding 3 elements. I'm getting iterator object. I think generic version, right? To check the data is present or not present, idea that has next method. Read the data, idea that next method. I'm storing into s variable. If s dot equals of Naresh. If s dot equals of Naresh, what I'm doing here? Simply idea.
Third list object, if it is equal, then only remove.
Idea that remove, right? Using iterator, I call remove method, right?
Yes.
Using iterator, I call remove method means what?
Because iterator is a universal, yeah, and it has remove
method, so it will remove the data. So objects means what? Remaining 2 objects will be printed, right?
Oh, yeah, correct.
This example is clear. Example 2.
Yes.
And example 3. Iterator object contains for each remaining. We done this code already. And even see guys, actually in the first example itself, otherwise iterator to remove the data file to be done with the iterator object. And moreover here, assume like my array list contains like object data. Yes, if your array list contains object data, the first itself you can make this code here at last. Yeah. Guys, now see, now array list EMPS. Array list contains what type of data now? Employees data. Employees data means I'm adding how many employees? 3 employees. EMPS dot iterator method I'm calling. After calling iterator method, what I'm doing here? Iterator object, right? Iterator object EMP iterator. Iterator object contains what? For each remaining, right? For each remaining. Previously, for each remaining, if it is a string data means what? Only S we are calling, yes, we are making. Here employee means E is there, right? But employee internally contains values, no? Previously, string means directly are printing the data, right? Guys, previously it is a string means directly printing S, but now only directly printing E dot EID, E dot ENAME we need to call. Guys, we need to call the corresponding methods, corresponding variables, right? E dot EID and what? E dot, tell me here, E dot EID and what? E dot,
E dot name.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Employee ID, employee name. These two are,
so because that E is employee type,
yeah. An
employee
employee
type.
has two types. Yeah. One
Hmm.
is the employee ID and another employee name. So that
Because here, previous example, I'm saying add the book object, right? When you take the book object using for each remaining, you are making the B variable, some book object arrow. Then book object contains how many values? Internally, 3 values, right? Book ID, name, and other. Then we need to get that values or not.
correct.
Yeah, book ID, book name, book author, right? ID, name, and what? Other, right? Exactly. That is information, guys. That is the information, right? Good.
Sir, we can use method reference also, right? For printing that.
We can use, but there's a different task. You need to try. How to use the method reference at object level. Because to use the method reference at object level, again, we need to make the setter and getter methods that I'll tell you as part of map interface basically. But as of now, just you can apply for the object level means we can apply only lambda expression. That will be good.
Sir, what about if I have to print the employee ID, employee name using lambda expression? Two things. Earlier we were printing only one thing, simple strings we were printing.
Okay.
Now I have the lambda expression and employee ID and employee name. These both have to print together. So how to deal with that situation?
That one only you are doing here, right? You are making that example, right? This is the code, right? We are calling e.eid.
For this, you have used for each remaining, but I don't want to use for each remaining. Then
don't write the code, na?
Okay.
Without for each remaining, you can use a for each loop. For each method.
Okay.
For each method also expecting consumer, right? Then why you are asking that question? I don't know.
Okay. For each also we can do. And
both are for each remaining expecting consumer objective, for each also expecting consumer objective.
Okay.
Then here we written the code means the code can be repeated for each method also, right? The same code.
And object reference you are telling that you'll tell later, right? Using that, na?
Guys, that is called iterator to remove the data. So this is example 2 and example 3. The example 3, yeah, that is ListIterator object I want to get. That example 3. Can see here, let's check this code also once. What is this code is doing? Array list object contains what? Array list object contains the 4 objects. Using ListIterator, I'm doing like addition operations, right? Yes, how can you get a ListIterator object? OBJS that the method is called ListIterator method, right? Iterator object means iterator method. ListIterator object means ListIterator method, right?
Yes.
Guys, iterator object means iterator method. ListIterator object means what? ListIterator method, right?
Correct.
Exactly. OBJS dot ListIterator, ListIterator, OBJS dot ListIterator, which returns a ListIterator object. Using ListIterator, we can add the data. So add of Lipica. So ListIterator that add of Lipica I'm adding here. So Lipica I'm adding means now tell me Lipica is added at which location here?
After Sravya.
Lipica is added like after Sravya.
Because it follows FIFO order. Sorry, last and first. Tag something like that.
Why LIFO here, man?
I mean last, at the last only it will be appended, right?
Then LIFO, na?
Last, something like that. Something confused.
The LIFO concepts will come under C language. In the Java, you never get the LIFO concepts, and moreover, that is like a stack means LIFO, queue means FIFO. First in, first out. That's it. But this is not stack, not list, right? Then why you are saying that stupid words here?
Okay.
Very bad words.
Okay.
And moreover, you are not seeing the example properly. When you create the cursor object, where the cursor is initially pointing, Is a cursor
last index. Huh.
Cursor purpose is what? Cursor purpose is what? To read the data, right?
Right.
Cursor purpose is to read the database. When the cursor object is created, reading from last onwards.
From first onwards till last.
Then where is initially cursor is pointing?
From the at the first location initially.
The initially first location means now cursor is pointing to first location. Then I'm adding the add of Lipika. Then where is the Lipika is added? Where the cursor is pointing, that location it is added, right? Then initially where is the cursor is pointing?
First location.
And then Lipika is added which location?
First location.
Then
Okay.
think logically and don't say
Okay.
like unnecessary answers directly, no?
Perfect, sir.
Guys, that like over smart is not good for Java programming. Always need to be analyzed. What the concept we are doing, why we are doing, how it is happening. Don't decide immediately the answer. Huh? Java is not at all. It's not going to work out in the Java. Don't decide immediately. We need to think where the cursor is pointing. Initially need to get the clarity. Okay, initially cursor is pointing to before first record. I'm using cursor only is adding the data. So using cursor only is adding the data means maybe that add operation is doing the first, right? Like that we need to analyze. By default, last, FIFO, LIFO. So don't write BTech exams here. First question means first chapter, first complete chapter. Second question means chapter, second chapter. Third question means without checking the question asked, they're writing some chapter, right? Then the paper correction person has to check where is my answer, huh? Where is my answer? That's the point, guys. Fine. Guys, this is a ListIterator array list object is there, and here, if you want, you can check the ListIterator method to get the ListIterator data. After that, can you please print the OBJS once? Print of what? OBJS. If you're printing OBJS, then if you run this code, then Lipika is added first location because the cursor is initially pointing to first location, right? Then Lipika is added first location. Just let me write the while loop now. While of GListIterator data has next method. Has next method returns the true if the data is present. Then GListIterator data next method to read the data. So next method returns like which type here? String type, string s. Simply we can do like if condition. If s dot yes, if s dot equals of what? S dot equals of Anu. In place of Anu, guys, in place of Anu, I want to replace with Anushka. Then I GListIterator dot GListIterator dot replace means which method, guys? Set method. Set of what? Anushka, something like this. Yes or no? Using ListIterator, I can do add operation, I can do replace operation, I can do remove operation also, right? If s dot equals of what? Naresh. If s dot equals of Naresh, I want to remove the data, right? GListIterator dot just I can do remove operation, right? That's it, guys. GListIterator dot remove operation, right? That's all. Okay, sorry, clear now?
Yes.
Guys, this case, what is output now? I think finally the output is what? First one is
Ratan, Anushka.
hey.
Sir, first one will be the Lipika, and then Ratan,
Okay.
and then Anushka, and then Sravya. 4.
Ratan. First one is Lipika. Next one is Ratan.
Next one
And
is
then-
Anushka.
and-
Anushka.
Then
And
Sravya.
then Sravya. Perfect.
Guys, you got the values right? 4 values, right? Exactly. Okay, this is ListIterator can perform which operations here? Read, remove,
Read,
replace,
remove, and rename or set we can
and
do.
add, right?
Add.
Add and replace concept, something like this. Okay, this is example number how much? Example number 3. Okay, first example we are doing like all operations, almost all operations we done. Second example, iterator to remove the data. Iterator to remove data. Third example, ListIterator to perform the remove, replace,
Add.
is when we create the cursor object. When you create the cursor object, cursor is pointing to
Before
Cursory
the
point
first
before the first before to first cursory point before first record, right? When we create the cursor, so when we add the data, the cursor is pointing to. So when we added the cursor is at, when we add the data using cursor, the data is added what? First location, right? Exactly. So when we add the data using cursor, guys, the data is added to location here, first location, right? Exactly. Guys, there is example number how much? Example number 3. And example number 4, guys. Guys, iterator read the data backward direction. Guys, has next and next method means what? Move the cursor forward direction, right? Guys, move the cursor is what? Forward direction, right? Has previous and previous means what? Has previous
Backward.
previous means backward direction, right? To check the data previous direction, to read the data what? Previous direction, right? Guys, has next and next method, has previous and what? Previous method, right? Exactly. Guys, if you want, just let me check that code. So here just you can place the cursor, test3 here, and you can copy this code and the test3 just open, and here just you can remove this one, just to place this code. Because we got the output is what? Forward direction and backward direction. Has next read data forward direction. Ratan Anu's narration. Next one is what? Has previous narration Ratan, right? Yes, narration and what Ratan or not? Exactly. Is that clear now?
Sir, one confusion. Has previous will place the pointer location, cursor location at what position?
Before
Backward,
the last
backward.
record.
Oh,
After the last
before the
record.
last record. Oh, okay.
After the last record.
Oh, after the last record. Okay. Okay.
After
Perfect.
the last record means ending, right?
Sorry, sir. After the last.
Yeah, perfect, sir. Okay.
This like now has next has previous and what? Previous, right? See guys, actually ListIterator cursor, when you create the cursor object, initially it is pointing to what? First record, right? Before first record, right? No, sir, I don't want before first record. I want cursor from specific record. I want to read the data from specific record. To read the data from the specific record, guys, then you can create the iterator object like this also. See guys here, now while creation of list iterator object itself, we can give the argument. What's the argument I given here? 2, right? Now the cursor is pointing to what? From second record onwards. Guys, reading the data from specific index, right? Specific index means now cursor is pointing to second record, right? Second record means 0, 1, 2, Sravya. From Sravya and Durga will get the output, right?
So
Yes.
before the second record, it will place this pointer, right? Okay. Sir.
So reading the data from specific index. So if you want to create the array list with the specific index, then list iterator data is 2, right? 2 means what? Second record, right? Exactly. Like that, how much record you want, just you can make that record. Oh, you can make that record, no? We can make that, you can make that record also. Okay. Yeah, do one thing. Let me materialize this data. Okay, here this much good, not good. Remove this one here. And here book object is there. Guys, see this example, last one. Here you can see, guys, a list of book object. Book contains book ID, book name, and what? Book author, right? Book object contains what are values, guys? Book name, book ID, book name, and what? Book author or not? So which
Yes, sir.
contains like book ID, book name, and book author. It ListIterator object I'm getting. I'm ListIterator new book object I'm adding, right? Then where the new book object is added?
Before
Fourth one.
the first one.
Before the first. So this book is added first location, right? This book is added first location. Then idea that ListIterator has next method returns the book object. Book.bid, guys. See, check the some condition. Maybe book.eid double equal to 111. Then ListIterator dot remove, right? Then it removes which object, guys, here. This object will be removed or not? Book ID. So otherwise, simply can take like one more condition. B dot book data. B dot name. B dot name dot equals of, guys, book dot name dot equals of what? Let me take the C language.
Java.
So just let ListIterator dot remove, right? Yeah, depends on the requirement. Check the book ID, remove the data. Otherwise, book name, remove the data, right? Yeah. What are the remaining data I have? That remaining data I'm using for each loop. for each remaining method to print, right?
Yes, sir.
For each remaining means what? B system out to print now lambda expression, right? B dot BID, B dot B name, B dot B other, right? ID name and other. So here, how many records are there total still?
For
First
record,
record will be Python, and then second will be
Java.
IDs tell me.
2.
444, 11,
Triple four?
333,
Sir, 444 and 333 only.
111, 333.
Wait, 111 is deleted here. Here book ID.
444 and 333 only, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Full focus, sir,
So-
today.
Then the values are what? 444 and what?
222, 333.
444 and 333.
222
Yes, sir.
also deleted here. 222 is deleted now.
444 and 333 only.
222
3
is
also gets deleted.
Then what the value? Final values means 444 and 333. That's
Three.
it. 444 and what? 333, right?
Yes, sir.
That's it. This is example number 6. Exactly. Example 5, reading the data from specific index. Example 6, using cursor working with object data. Working with what? Object data, right? Exactly. This is assignment number 2. You can try to complete this one. What is this assignment 2 says? Like, yeah, this is assignment 2. Guys, check the read that assignment, Alok. As usual, book object you can take. Otherwise, do one thing, guys. Here you can take the product object, which contains product ID, product name, product cost, ID name and cost. Product ID, product name, product cost. Inside the 3 product objects here, product objects. Here you can see, guys, big example. You can write the code for this one. Product object contains like vector contains a product object. Because here we need to store the data into the vector. Okay, vector. Vector means how many cursors I can apply there? Yes, vector means how many cursors you can apply. Total we can apply like total 3 cursors, right? So 3 cursors, guys. Enumeration can be applied, iterator can be applied, ListIterator can be applied, right? All 3 cursors can be applied, right? Exactly. Guys, for each loop to read the data, first one. For each loop to read the data, get method to read the specific record, get method to read the specific record, get the ListIterator cursor, get the iterator cursor, apply some condition, remove the data. Okay, iterator object, guys. Iterator object, remove the data. And next one is what? ListIterator object. ListIterator object, yeah. Here get the ListIterator object generic version here. Read the data using do one thing. This one is remove the data now. Here what I can do, get the ListIterator generic version. Okay, get the ListIterator generic version, add one book object, add one new book object, apply some conditions, remove an object. Yeah, apply some condition, remove an object. Replacement is not required, leave it. Yeah. Read the data using enumeration cursor. Okay, fine. Guys, here I don't want write this one also, leave it. Guys, I don't want these two also, leave it. Just you can apply only cursors, guys. Here vector contains a product 3 inside the product objects. Get the iterator cursor, apply some conditions, remove the data, because 3 products are there, right? You can remove one of the product. So here we can do what? One new product is added, one product is removed. Here one is added, one is removed. I think one is removed here. Then read the data using enumeration cursor, right? Enumeration cursor. Then you try to check enumeration contains what are the methods, how to check the data, like guys, how to read the data, right? Has more elements and what? Next element method, right? Guys, has more elements and what? Next element method or not? Exactly. You guys are able to do this assignment, right? Just you can apply 3 cursors, guys. That's it. Iterator, the first one is what? Iterator cursor, second one is what? ListIterator cursor, third one is what? Enumeration, right? Iterator, ListIterator, and enumeration. Yeah, that's it. Guys, get the iterator cursor, apply some conditions, remove the data, get the ListIterator generic version. So add some apply some condition, remove the data, add the data using enumeration cursor, right? Read the data using what? Enumeration cursor, right? Exactly. Okay, is that clear now? That is a point, yeah. Yeah, these are two assignments regarding cursors we'll make. We'll make the two assignments regarding cursors, right? Exactly. Exactly. There's yesterday class also. Let me make one assignment. Just basic assignment here. Yesterday class. Yeah. Yesterday class, just you can take like a product object, book object. Just you can take the customer object, guys. You can take the customer. The customer. Okay. Customer contains customer ID, customer name, ID name, customer ID name, mobile number. Just mobile number, right? Exactly. Guys, array list you can take array list with the customer object. There's a product and array list here also. Just you can take the book object, right? There's array list, just you can take the customer object, array list customer object. So here insert the three customer objects. Okay, insert the three customer objects. After inserting three customer objects, just read the data using using for each loop and read the data using read the specific record. Yeah, correct only. You read the specific record using get method. Using what? Get method, right? That's it, guys. Guys, are you clear now? So this is yesterday class 1 basic assignment, right? Customer object you can create ID, name, and mobile number. Array list of inside the three customer objects. Read the data using what? Guys, array list inside the two customer objects. Inside the two, guys, do one thing. Array list of customer inside the two product objects. Array list customer A1. Array list of customer A2. Array list of customer A2. Insert two more customer objects and array list customer of A3. Here what you can do like in A3, here insert one customer object plus add what? A1 comma A2 A1 add A1 comma A2 data into A3. Right? Now read the data using for each loop. Read the A3 data. Read the A3 specific data. Otherwise, like some nothing is there. This is not required. Just you can do like this. It's not a problem. You read the A3 data using for each loop. That's it, guys. Yes, customer object you can create a customer A1 inside the two customer objects, A2 inside the two customer objects. Array list of A3 is there. Insert the one customer object A1, A2, A3. Then read the A3 data using. Guys, read the A3 data using what? For each loop, right? Guys, this one is clear. This is basically yesterday class assignment, but I'm preparing today for these all assignments.
Yes, sir.
When you write this type of coding, so that you'll get the clarity. If you are not able to write the coding, just read the theories. Okay, check about your theory in the subject. If you don't want practicals, if you want practicals, you try to write this coding part. The coding part for this all. How to create the customer, how to add the data into the E1, two objects here. A3, how can we add one object and add A1, A2 into the A3. Now A3 contains total how many objects, guys? A3 contains total. A3 contains total how many objects?
3.
2.
5.
A3
4.
Does A3 contains total how many objects? Means 5
Customer
objects.
object A1, A2, and A3. So 4.
Very good. For you means 4 means you for you 4 only, no problem. Okay. Good. For alloc, it is a 4 guys. Remaining guys, it will be five objects. Okay.
1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3 sir.
3. Yeah.
Don't you want to count A3 subject?
I want just I'm asking. What the question I'm asking? Check the question first. Okay. Go in your own way. What is the answer you have? You don't tell that answers. What the question I'm asking? Like A3 contains how many objects? I'm asking. That's my question. A3 contains how many objects in the sense how many customer objects, right? A3 contains how many objects means what? How many customer objects, right? The meaning.
5 customer.
It contains 5 customer objects, right? That is your answer should be. Which contains like
How
how many
five?
customer objects means?
Sir, how 5?
Five
1 is customer object. A2. Oh, 2 customer objects of A1, 2 customer objects of A2, and 1 customer. Okay, 5. Got it.
Good guys. This is like customer, right? Customer object is there. Customer A1, customer A2, customer A3 is there. So insert data one customer object, add A1, A2 data into what? A3, right? So read A3 data using ForEach loop, right? Yes, read the A3 data using what? Read the data A3 data using what? ForEach loop, right? Exactly. Okay, that's a point. Assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, right? Good. Guys, just let me take one more assignment at starting level. Assignment. What I can do here? This assignment, like take the array linked list. Yeah, take the linked list. Linked list. Can you please insert what you can say? Okay, fine. Guys, here let me make that assignment. Assignment. Yes, take the array list. Take the array list. Okay. Take the array list. Add even numbers from 1 to 10. 1 to 10 even numbers you can add into array list one. Yeah. Array list. Next one is what? Just we can read like array list, linked list. Linked list, add odd numbers from 10 to 20. Odd numbers from 10 to 20 we can add into linked list, right? Yes, sir. No. Odd numbers from 10 to 20. Simply like vector vector object, what it contains means we add 100 3 times. Add 100 number 3 times. Add 100 number 3 times plus even see guys, this is like okay, this is like A1 data, this is like A2 data, this is like A3 data. A1, A2, A3 is there, right? What you can do, add 103 times plus what? Plus add A1 comma A2 into A3, right? Yes, A1 comma A2 into what? A1 comma A2 into the A3, right? That's it. Add A1 comma A2 into A3, guys. Statement is clear. Now vector contains total, at least now tell me clear answer. Vector contains now how many objects? Vector contains how many objects?
13 sir. 13.
13, right? So 5 even values, 5 odd values, 3 hundreds, right? Total it contains like 13 values. Guys, read the A3 data using this examples bit important, right? If you write the coding, you'll get the more clarity, right? It's not like very low level assignment, adding the take the array list, add the 5 values, 6 values, right? It's clear now. This assignment 1, 2, 3, 4. Is all four clear? Yeah, good. This is all the 4 assignments, guys. Good. Guys, one more example we need to check. One more point, guys. Here, just we are doing a small conversion process. In yesterday class, we need to take this example actually. 2 conversion process, guys. Arrays to collections, collections to arrays. Guess we before collections, what the topic we are using? Before collections, we are using arrays only, right? Guys, before collections, what we are using means before collections, we are using what? Arrays only.
Arrays.
So see, guys, in my previous project, I'm using like arrays concept. Then I decided to convert my arrays into what? List collection format, right? Guys, I decided to convert my arrays into which format? Collection format or not? Exactly. Guys, I decided to convert my arrays into what? Collection format. Then we can go for this one, this example. See this code once. See guys, string array is there. A string array, if you want, let me write this code once. So just a test3 is there. Next one is what? Test4 you can take, right? Just click on OK. Just you can place the cursor, right? Yeah, just you can remove this data. Guys, now let me take the previous example, previous project. I'm using arrays, string array I'm taking. But later I decided, like my team is decided to convert that arrays into what? A collection format. Okay, that's what here. Let me take the array list, right? Array list of which version, guys? String version. Array list of string version obj is equal to new array list of string version is what, guys? Here you can take the string. Fine, guys. How much length I want to create here? It's fine. I need to add the data, right? Guys, to add this what? To add this array into the array list, right? To this argument, guys, simply to this arguments, arrays class is there. Guys, this is arrays is a class. Arrays dot as list method. Arrays dot as list method simply can pass the str. That's it. Then objs dot add method. If you want, you can add some more values, just like triple A, just like objs dot add of what? Triple B, triple A and what? Triple B. Just you can put the semicolon. Here you can put the semicolon. Then you can print the data. That's it. OBJS, right? That's all, guys. Guys, in this case, what happened here? String array contains like 3 values. Array list of OBJS. Array list of what? String arrays dot as list method, right? Exactly. Okay, simply can run this code. Because the output is like so this array is converted into array list format or not? Guys, array is converted into array list format, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
There's a conversion of what? This is a conversion of array to collections, right? Guys, conversion of arrays to what? Collections or not?
Yes, sir.
Arrays to collections, right? Exactly. Guys, next one is like I have the collections, but due to performance issues, let me convert that collections into array format. So this is like arrays to what? Arrays to collections, arrays to collection. This is what? Collection to
arrays.
Array, right? Exactly. Guys, A1 is a collection data. Collection to array format I want to convert. Okay. Guys, collection to array. To which array you can convert here? Tell me.
Guys,
to which array can convert?
Array.
String array.
That's what you can make the string array. String array is equal to what? New string array here. Size you need to specify, right? Size how much here? Two.
I mean, it starts from 0, 1, 2, right, sir?
So length is 3, right? Total. Index is 0, 1, 2, but length is 3. Because here we no need to pass the 3 here. Instead of passing 3, can I find like A1 dot size? It means A1 contains how much size, that much size of array create, right? Exactly. Because now A1 is there. A1 is what type of data?
Array list.
Array type.
Array list type, sir. Collection.
Collection type. A1 is a collection type. Collection to array. To which array? String array, right? Simply can pass the SE here. That's it. Yes, A1 we are converting into which format? S format, right? A1 to array, right? To which array? String array, right? Exactly. Simply can pass the S, right? That's it, guys. Then you can write the for each loop to read the data. Yes, is there. Then string SS is there, right? String SS. Just open brace, close the brace. Okay, this is our control space, SS, right? That's it. Why this error? Yeah. Good. Guys, simply can run this code. See, the second case hopefully is what Ratan and Strava, right? Ratan and what Strava, because my array list contains only these three values, right? A1 contains only three values, guys. Guess and nothing. A1 is a collection data, collection to array, to which array? String array. Because my array list contains string data, right? That's what I'm converting into which format, guys? To string array format, right? Yes or no? To string array format or not? Exactly. Guys, but see, the point is like, here the array list contains what type of data? String data, generic version, right? That's what I can create the string array. I'm converting collection to which format? String format, right? String array format, right? Yes, I'm converting collection to which format? String array format or not? But tell me, guys, if you take the normal version of the collection contains one type of data, different types of data. This is the normal version of the collection, right? Guys, previously collection generic type, string type. That's what I'm creating string array. Previously it is a string type. That's what I'm converting string type, right? String array, right?
Yes.
But now it is
Mixed form. One is integer, one is string. So basically object type.
Heterogeneous type.
heterogeneous type means what I can do here. What I can do here, like tell me what I can do.
We can do
Data dot to array method I can use, guys. But to array I cannot pass these arguments here, right? Because previously only string type is there. I created the string array. I passed the argument here, right? But now data dot to array is there. Data dot to array is there. Here I can make what? Return type is object array, guys. Object array, right? That the object array something like word can take. That's the point, guys. So here the to array methods overload method, guys. Two array methods. Generic version means to array with argument. Which type of data is the type you can mention. But to array without argument. Without argument means what? Without argument means what? Without argument. Tell me, without argument means what? Just you can make the object type, right? Because different types of objects are there, right? Exactly. This object vovo equal to simply can pass the vo, and simply here you can pass the vovo, right? That's it. Okay, simply run this code. Here we got to put 10 Ratan 10.5, right? 10 Ratan 10.5. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
There is a point,
I
right?
have a question, sir.
Tell me.
But I mean, I did not go through this one. Can object array can be normally created, sir, without collections? I mean, was it already part of like collections, or it's
No,
it was existing earlier also?
This is the to array method, right? To array return type is what? Object array. Object array. It means now because we are converting collections to array format, right? When you are converting collections to array format, here collection contains one type of data, different type of data.
I understood that, sir. Because of different heterogeneous data, we are I mean holding the data into an object.
Then
and no, I'm asking, sir, before collections was, I mean, can we create just normally an object without using collections? I mean, is it part
object
of
array?
collections? Yeah, object array.
Object array we can create one. Right?
Okay.
It's
I did
not
not
like
go
collection.
through, sir. No, I just had that doubt. I did not go through that.
So in arrays concept, you can do like object array. It's not a problem.
Okay, sir.
Good. Yeah, this is like conversion process. First case like converting arrays to collections. Arrays to collection, just argument you can pass arrays class, right? Arrays is the class case, contains some methods to perform operations. But arrays that as list method and arrays that as set method is there. Okay, arrays that as set is there. Let me check once. Arrays dot as list only there. Okay, fine. Yes, arrays dot as list method to convert that collections into one which format, guys? Array list format, right? Exactly. Guys, our conversion process are clear. It's simply like doing like conversion process here. So two conversion process, guys. Converting arrays to collections, collections to arrays, right? Converting arrays to converting what? Converting arrays to what? Collections and collections to arrays, right? Exactly. This is a conversion process, guys. Arrays to collections as list method we need to use. As list is belongs to which class, guys? Now arrays class, right? Arrays dot as list method. Conversion collections to arrays means what? To array method, right? To array method we need to use. Good. That is one example we need to focus. To see, guys, moreover, these days, like arrays dot as list method is there. Actually, if you need the list of data, guys, this example you can see list of data is required, then directly we can do the code like this. Just like let me remove this code, list of values, arrays dot as list method, guys. Arrays list is belongs to util package. Arrays class contains as list method. We are making these three values, right? Which is taking which format, guys? Here list format. Yes, arrays dot as list format. I'm taking which one here? List type, right? Because it's a parent type. If it is a parent type means what? It internally holding like some implementation class object, right? Arrays dot as list method internally what it returns which object. Okay, this is list interface. List interface I'm holding. It means this list interface can hold the array list implementation class object, linked list implementation class linked list object, vector and stack, right? It means arrays dot as list by default what object it returns means array list object, guys. Yes, as list method. As list method. See, guys, if you want some names means you no need to create array list of names, a new array list, add. Instead of doing like that, simply can go for this one. Arrays dot what?
We use as list method to
Hmm.
convert the collections into arrays, right? As list we use to convert the collections object into array of arrays, basically, correct? Oh, so over here we should get array of Larry, Mo, and Curly after execution of line number 9.
First, we need to understand the previous example. For the previous example, as list is converting like arrays to collections, right? Not collections to arrays. Arrays dot as list method. As list method, you are passing str here, right? Str contains how many values? 3 values now.
Okay, we are changing into collection.
Collection format now.
Collection.
Same way we are doing here, right? Because here multiple values are there. These multiple values you are making as a list format. That's it. Arrays as list method returns the collection data, not like an arrays data. Nah?
Okay, collections. Yeah.
Good. Guys, let me do one thing. I don't know JRE system library. Guys, here new you want to take new properties. In the properties, guys, Java compiler. Facets, project facets, yeah, facet. Convert project facets is there. Yeah, Alex, no chance. Let me do one thing. Local disk C program files, Apache. Okay, do one thing. Let me take one example using normal command prompt because my Eclipse ID I don't want this stuff because Eclipse ID by default taking Java 8 version. My Eclipse ID is taking the by default Java 8 version. But if you check my command prompt level, I set the path Java version. Which version I am using, guys? Here almost all Java 15th version. I'm setting the path here. Java 15th version is running, right? Okay, fine. Guys, here let me take one small example. I think list contains one method. List contains one method of method, guys. Actually, the list contains, I think, of method. Yeah, list dot of method, guys, which is there from which version? Which is there from which version? Like Java 9th version. Java 9th version. You can take the Ratan, Anu, and what? Ratan, Anu, and what? Stralia you can take. That's it. Okay, then list dot of method. First, let me check the okay list interface. Yeah, list interface Java 15th version. You can see list interface API documentation. Okay, fine. Java SC 13 also it's not a problem because which is there in 9th version itself. Let
Sir,
me
open
check
second link.
that.
Oh, sir, open second link na for 15th. Google second link.
Guys, here just you can check the data. List contains what off method is there. Yeah, this is off method, guys. This if we check the off method once, say list dot off method. Off method return type is what, guys? Return type is list, right? Exactly. Returns a unmodifiable list containing 0 elements. See unmodified list details, right?
I'm not able to hear your voice.
Yeah, sir has muted himself.
Yes, can you hear me? So list contains off method, guys. Off method, like list dot off directly. Yes, list contains what? List contains off method. Off contains 3 elements, right? Then you can make the list of what? A list of strings. List of you can take the string, right? Strings of what? Data, something like this. No problem. Yeah, something like the system dot out dot printer and off. So here just you can print the data, right? That's it. Yes, can please save this code in local disk E. The file is called what? Test.java file. Just open the command prompt, import java.util.star, right? That's fine.
The dot off function will convert
See, Java's the
into
application is called what?
Java
Test.java, right?
collection or into
Code
array.
is compiled or not compiled?
The package name you have written wrong, sir.
Package name is wrong. Util spelling is wrong. Okay, good.
Sir,
So now
dot
you can
off.
compile this code. Code is compiled file. Code executed file, right? So you got the output is right.
Sir,
So
dot
list,
off will basically change the.
first you listen what I am saying, na?
Okay. Yeah.
Then you can ask.
Okay.
And why you are see? I'm ignoring your question, right? Because if I'm ignoring your questions means think like your questions are very stupid questions first of all. Then after completion explanation you can ask. Don't irritate in the class, please. Okay, so guys, list dot off method is there. Off method belongs to list class. Guys, in Namir paid classes, they'll write the code like They'll add the data means like this. They'll add the data like this. So you know that in our private class notes, you can check any class notes. They'll write the code like this: add, 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 add. Do you think like real-time employees they'll write this type of coding? Add of 3 names means add, 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 add. No, right? What we will do? Simply can take the list.of method. List.of method. When previously also we done the code instead of list.of method, arrays.asList method. When compared to arrays.asList method, arrays class we need to take the support, right? Arrays class we need to take the support. But here directly list contains off method na. Then instead of going for again arrays class, then arrays.asList this code and list.of method this code both are same. But which one is a more comfortable? List contains the values, right? That's what simply we are using list.of method. Yeah, simply we are using what? List.off method, right? That is a point. And now tell me, hello, what's your question?
Sir, clear. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, this is list.off method, right? Which contains like, so Ratan, Anu, and what? Java, right? Exactly. Because even here, you can create the employee objects also. Even you can create what? Employee objects. Then you can make the data like, what I will do, like, let me check local disk E contains what type of data, which contains like, student. Mm, right. Now student class is there because I'm working for the E location means I need to check my E location data is present or not. Yeah. Which contains student ID, name, and marks is there. 3 argument constructor is there, fine. If 3 argument constructor is there, then it will be fine. Then you can take the class. Because let me take like, arrays dot student data I want to take. To take the student data, guys, so here you can pass like, let me create the student object separately, otherwise. Student S1 equal to what? Okay, new student of student ID, student name, and student marks. So 98, something like this. And after that, you can take like, student S1 is there, student S2 is there, right? This is S1 and this is like, S2, right? S1, S2 is there, fine. Guys, now it will be like, now it will be like, S3. Yeah, 111, 222, 333. Just I'm changing IDs, guys. It's fine. List.of method here simply can pass S1 comma S2 comma S3 also. It's not a problem. Then we can read this data using for each loop. Na? For colon, guys, for colon, right hand side is what? Data. Left hand side is what? Data is what type of data, guys?
Student.
Data is like, student type, right? Then you can make the student S, right? Exactly. Guys, here just you can make the data like, the system dot out dot println of. Then I can make the S data. What it contains the values, tell me. Which contains SID, S name, S marks. Okay. Okay, SID, S name, S marks, fine. Guys, S data, SID plus some space, S data, SID, S name plus some space plus S dot what? S marks, right? That's it.
Yes, marks. Only
Uh,
marks.
only
Only-
marks we have.
Ah.
Only marks, fine. Then you need to make like, only marks, right? Okay, fine. As you can compile this code is compiled, fine. Yes, is defined, it's saying that. Why? Student, what's saying error message, guys? Variable data is already defined in the method. Data is there. Okay, here data is there already. Here student data, no? Student data. Student data you can pass. Here you can make the student data. Fine. Guys, now you can compile this code. Incompatible type, incompatible bounds of in reference variable E has incompatible bounds. List dot contains not off method, guys. Eclipse ID means I can use control space, no? But here I cannot use a control space. That's a point. I think off may is expecting only one argument. No. Off is expecting the multiple elements. E1, E2 is there. First element and second element, fine. First element, second element, third element. First element, second element, third element, fourth element. Fifth element. First, second, third contain unmodified list elements of fine. Sixth elements. Why he is getting this stupid thing? 7 elements. It means like this we can add 8 elements. 9 elements, 10 elements. At a time we can pass how many elements, guys? Okay, 10 elements you can pass. Copy of. Equals method, off method only. I need to check off total how many elements you can add at a time, guys? 10 elements we can add, right? Yes, do you have any all? Why it is showing error here? Yeah, stupid mistake. Guys, list of what generic question you need to make the
Student.
generic question of student, right?
Student.
It means list you can pass multiple values, is not a problem. S1, S2, S3, like total how many values you can pass, guys, at a time? We can pass the 10 values, right? Guys, we can pass how many values? 10 values. Then code is compiled, fine. Code executed, fine. See guys here. 111, 222, 333 got output, right? Guys, 111, 222, 333 we got output. Atana no and what? Yeah. So 98, 68, and what? 88, something like this. Okay, these two examples. This example is clear. List directly contains off method. List directly contains off method. Using that off method, we can add the data. Atananu, Shravya. Then printing the data. We won't normal string type, but if object type means like this, we can add. List.of multiple objects means like this, right? So it's like, doing like add method is recommended, writing the code like this is recommended. Guys, doing like add method is recommended, writing the code like this is recommended.
Dot off is recommended.
Writing the code like this is recommended, right? Yeah, when you take the examples, guys, make sure that the style of coding is important. Add, who will add, yeah. Contains all method, this example, right? Okay, fine. Guys, are we clear now? That is called your cursors we done. And we done the 2 points, guys. Total list implementation classes we completed, and list implementation classes we completed, and tell me guys what we done up to now. List implementation classes, array list, linked list, vector, and stack is completed. And cursors we complete, right? Cursors we completed, guys. Just can please tell me some entry questions now. What is the purpose of cursor? Just tell me what the purpose of cursor is. To read the data from collection classes, right? To read data from collection classes, guys. How many types of cursors in Java in collection? How many types of cursors in collections? There are 3 types of cursor, right?
Enumeration, Iterator,
ListIterator.
Cursor, right? There are 3 types of cursors. One is the enumeration. Next one is what?
Iterator.
Iterator. And third one is what?
ListIterator.
Right? Enumerator, iterator, and ListIterator. That's it. Case question number 24. What is a functional interface? What is the functional interface? What is the functional interface, guys?
which has only one method.
The interface contains only one abstract method, right? It's nothing but one abstract method or functional method, right? The interface contains what? Only one abstract method. Only one abstract method, or what you can say, functional method, right? Functional method is called, yeah. The interface contains only one abstract method, functional method. That's it. And question number 25. Yeah, what is the purpose of lambda expression, guys? What is the purpose of lambda? What the purpose of lambda expression? Tell me. It will
Reducing
provide
for
the. It will. What it will do? It will provide what? It will provide the. It will provide the implementations of what? It will provide the implementation of what? It will provide the implementation of a functional interface, right?
yes, okay.
It will only provide implementation functional interface, guys. Assume like if interface contains two methods, the lambda expressions will not work. So what the purpose of lambda expression is? It will provide the implementations of what? Functional interfaces. Okay, and it will reduce the length of the code, right? Reduce the length of the code. Question number 26. When we add the data, when we add the data using cursor, when we add the data using cursor, the data is added first location, first or last location.
First location.
The data is added. That added for first or last location. First or last location. Data is added in which location? Huh? What you can say? Data added to which location? Which location data is added, guys?
Before
First
the
location.
The data is added at what? The data is added at
First location.
first location, right? Exactly. Right? Because the cursor is because what the reason, guys? Because the data is added at first location because what the reason? Because
Cursor is pointing to the before first row.
when we create the cursor object, that the cursor is pointing to, the
Before
cursor
first
is what? Pointing to before first record, right?
Okay.
Exactly. That's fine. Good. Okay, so the next question, tell me. Question number 27.
method reference.
Method reference, okay. Method, what is the method reference means? Like short form of lambda expression. It's fine. No one will ask what is method reference. Fine. Lambda expression means what is the purpose of lambda? They'll ask like that. At least if you said that it will provide implementation of functional interface means you can understand that. Okay, you know the implementations. But you're saying like reduce the length of the code is first means there is no use, right? Reduce the length of the code is okay, fine. That is not important for us. Which one is important? What is the lambda expression means? It will provide the implementation of functional interface. That's the main point, right? Exactly. There's one thing is. Any other questions? Tell me.
What is method reference?
That question is not required.
For which
How do we convert array list into list? List into array and
how to convert arrays to collection? That's a question actually. Arrays to collections. Guys, tell me how to convert arrays to collections. Guys, how to convert arrays to collections?
The help of as list.
Using arrays dot what? As list method, right? As list method. That's it. Question number 28.
Sir, which cursor is universal cursor?
What is the? Tell me what is the universal cursor? What is the universal cursor? Universal cursor. This is a paid student question only. Who will ask universal cursor? Yeah. In interview, do you think they'll ask what is universal cursor? What is that? That is a universal star, not a star, right? Iterator, right? Exactly. But some interviews I face this. Some students will face this question. What is bidirectional cursor in Java, right? Bidirectional cursor.
Okay.
Bidirectional universal cursor not important there because universal cursor means the cursor applicable for all classes, right? What is a bidirectional cursor? Because to read a bidirectional cursor, right? What is bidirectional cursor, guys?
ListIterator, sir.
ListIterator, right? ListIterator is a bidirectional cursor, right? Exactly. Yeah, tell me next one.
So what is the use of stream API? So, sir, what is the use of stream API? Stream API. What is the use of stream API?
You don't know what is the stream API, right?
I know about processing the data something, but I don't not expert and not understand what is the stream API.
You don't know, right? First of all.
No, I don't know what is stream. But I mean, facing this in question many times in interview. A filter, stream API, optional class, data API, those many questions.
What we are writing here now? We are writing the questions that we covered in the today class, right?
Okay.
Then why stream API? What is the bidirectional cursor means? ListIterator, guys. I'm talking about the today class, what we completed. On that, you can tell me the questions. Okay. Guys, tell me. So lambda expressions fine. This is methods fine. Iterator cursor replace the data is fine. Yeah, I think these questions are fine. Now tell me some more questions. How to convert arrays to collections to arrays? How to convert what? Arrays to collections there?
Already is there, sir. 27th.
Collections to arrays.
Using two array.
Collections to arrays means what? Using simply like two array method. That's it.
So for each remaining method, we can apply on cursors.
Okay. Then
that has a point or
there's a question. For each remaining is belongs to iterator cursor, right?
Yes, sir.
Then what is the universal cursor? What is a bidirectional cursor? How to convert the collections arrays, cluster array? What is the purpose of lambda? What is the functional interface? How many types of cursors are there? And what is the purpose of the cursors? Right? When we create the cursor is added which location? The cursor, when we add the data using cursor, the data is added at which location means the data is at first location, because when we create the cursor, the object is a cursor object is pointing to before first record, right? Exactly. Using cursor, guys, using which cursor we can read the data from? We can read the data from specific location. As using which cursor we can read the data from specific location?
ListIterator.
Using which cursor we can read the data from specific location means using what? ListIterator.
Yes, sir.
ListIterator only.
Correct.
Using which cursor, guys? Using ListIterator cursor, right? Because ListIterator cursor, while creation of object, we can specify like using
Position.
Position you can specify, right? So
Yes,
that
sir.
the data can read from that position, right? So the data you can read from that position or not. Hello? Can hear me? So using which cursor we can read data from specific location, right? Using ListIterator, right? Guys, I think these questions are enough. Huh? Today, how many questions we done? 123. What is the purpose of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Tell me, guys, one more question. Cursors are clear, right, everyone? So read the data from the collection classes. Mostly cursors means to read the data for each method only we are using, guys. We are not using iterator, ListIterator, this all. Simply we are using what? For each method is there, right? For each method. That method we are using directly. For each my role important, guys. Not for each remaining also. Only for each is important. There's only we are using like object.forEach method. This is a code actually. In the real time, what we will use. What we will use means this is the code, right? Yeah. Guys, Java data util function. All the functional interfaces of collection framework, guys, belongs to the package like java.util.functions package here. Java.util.what functions package, right? Exactly. Guys, see, today I'm stopping here. So next week we'll meet Saturday at 8 o'clock. We'll meet Saturday at 8 o'clock.
With this link only.
With this link only we can join, not a problem.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, one
And
normal
coming to
question
the
generally.
class notes. This is a collection framework class notes, guys. What we prepared. Just I'm doing some modification, right? That's what I'm giving entire notes again. Ratan collection. Yodita, why you're asking? I don't know what is the notes. Yesterday you attended the class, right? This is a notes link. Producttest.com/Ratan collection. Ratan collection is a notes to get the class notes.
Java is the password.
Java is a password. This is the data for that. And the collection framework, these are the interview questions what I prepared yesterday. And today we prepared some more questions also, right? Let me place that questions also here. Just you can place that questions also. Yeah, and regarding assignments I prepared today extra, right? So these are the assignments what I prepared today. Just let me place that assignments now. Yeah. You try to complete these 4 assignments and try to give the answers, okay? Guys, by next week, just you can see, once if you done these assignments here, you try to place the answers here. Answer what assignments answers, just you can place your name and your answer, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Bye guys. Just guys, don't forget to write the comments. Write some comments in the Google. And next week also you can join the class because collections, what are the examples we done is very powerful, right? All are good, right? And next week also we'll meet, and next week we'll complete this collection framework. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I paid the fees for spring batch.
I'll tell that later. I'll
Okay.
call you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, any of your core Java batch is going on, sir?
Guys,
Or
tomorrow
regular?
morning, 7 o'clock CoreJava class is there. Because if you want to join my CoreJava classes, evening 7 p.m. we have the new batch, and morning 9 a.m. also new batch is there, but evening 7 p.m. is the latest batch, evening 7 p.m. And if you need my CoreJava Advanced Java batch, tomorrow morning 10 a.m. we have the Advanced Java. Tomorrow morning 10 a.m. we have the Advanced Java, you can join the class. If you need my spring classes, just you can search in YouTube so that you'll get the information. Yeah, you'll get the information. Or Python classes, and you try to see in YouTube, yeah, so that you get the what are the information you need my information, just you can search in YouTube. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Is it clear, right? Because
Yes,
if
sir.
anyone needs any information, like like if you have like any questions and all, just you can take that number, just you can say hi if you need any information, but that is should be meaningful information. Huh? That's my number. Yeah.
Sir, will
guys.
they upload this session on YouTube?
They'll upload in the YouTube. Just you can check it.
Okay.
Just you can type the collections by Ratan. You'll get that video.
Okay, sir. Sure.
But don't forget to write some reviews, yeah, because today these everyone coming to classes by checking the reviews. So you try to make some time and try to write some review. Okay.
Have a